It's indeed a great day for Montana nonprofits, and it's a great day for M&A. 7 years ago, when M&A signed up its first member, we envisioned a day like this where the Capitol Rotunda would be filled with hundreds of people representing charitable nonprofits of all kinds and from all places in Montana, sharing their stories. And that's, in fact, exactly what we have here today. I'm proud to say that that vision is alive and well today here in the Rotunda. Now nearly 550 members strong and growing, M&A is a vibrant organization, indeed one of the fastest growing state nonprofit associations in the country, and nationally recognized for our work, indeed your work, supporting nonprofits in rural America, in Montana specifically. Collectively, our membership represents over 11,500 employees across the state, an aggregate annual budget of $500 million, and an aggregate annual payroll of $227 million. Our members come from all four corners of the state and everywhere in between. A full 34% of our membership in the association comes from outside of the 7 population centers. That's something to celebrate. Thank you. To put these figures in the larger charitable context for Montana, there are well over 5,000 charitable nonprofits in the state that collectively contribute close to $3 billion in goods and services to the Montana economy each year. These same organizations employ nearly 37,000 Montanans and contribute $1.1 billion each year to Montana's wage base. That is more than the combined total for agriculture, mining, real estate, and utilities combined. In fact, the only recognized industries that contributed more were local government and retail trade. Why do I share these numbers with all of you today? For one, I think they're impressive in their own right. I would imagine surprising to some of you in the room, and they frankly for too long have been a well-kept secret. But make no mistake, it is what lies behind these numbers that really matters, the impact of the Montana's charitable sector. That is what's most important. Each and every day, our members and charitable nonprofits in Montana are caring for and supporting those who are most affected by this economic recession that we find ourselves in right now, all the while continuing to educate our children, nurse our sick, mentor our youth, elevate the arts and humanities, preserve our heritage and native cultures, protect our natural resources, rebuild our cities and towns, and much, much more. Indeed, each and every day, nonprofits are out there working to see that our communities, families, and citizens are healthy and strong, and that the quality of life that we enjoy and wish for our children and their children will in fact be there and available to all. Some days it may seem like an uphill battle or a steep climb, but every day nonprofits see that this work is done. We are many missions and one voice. At M&A, we believe that events and activities like Nonprofit Day serve as a catalyst for connection, understanding, and collaboration between nonprofits, policymakers, business, and government. With great challenges before us on the economic and community level, now more than ever, we must find ways to work together to forge lasting solutions to community needs. Those solutions and strategies are most likely to come forth through open and honest conversation about the challenges we face and a shared understanding of the visions we have for our communities and Montana. And finally, a true account of the assets that we all bring to the table. To that end, my challenge to the nonprofit leaders in the Rotunda today is to engage with and learn from others and to tell your nonprofit story as you're doing today. We do a lot of things well in the nonprofit sector. One thing we can do much better is tell our stories. All of us at M&A can provide a view of the nonprofit sector from the 10,000-foot level. You be the tour guides on the ground and in your communities. For all of our legislators, elected officials, and other guests in the room, I encourage you to commit yourself to getting to know and connecting with nonprofits in your communities. I suspect all of you in some ways are already doing that, be it as a volunteer a board member, a donor, a client, perhaps even a staff person. And for this, we thank you deeply. I ask you today to broaden your horizons even further. You have literally hundreds of tour guides in the room. Take them up on it. Before I conclude, I want to touch just briefly on our public policy work going forward. Several years ago, we worked with many of you in the room, did some surveys of the nonprofit sector to identify areas of emphasis for our public policy program going forward. We've recently, in the last several months, hired Patty White as our communications director at the association, and we've also now hired Jackie Boyle as M&A's first public policy director. I think Jackie is waving in the back there. This is a significant step forward for the association in terms of our capacity to be doing this work and supporting all of you. We really look forward to the coming years where our public policy program will be moving forward. To that end, I wanted to share several areas of emphasis with you that form the framework of our policy program as we understand it right now going forward. First of all, educate policymakers and the general public regarding the breadth, scope, community impact, and economic importance of the nonprofit sector in Montana and nationally. We'll certainly do this through events like Nonprofit Day and other activities. Secondly, strengthen and expand resources for training, management assistance, and organizational development available to all Montana nonprofits to assist you in your journey as an organization. Third, certainly protect the advocacy rights of all 501c3 organizations and strengthen the ability of Montana nonprofits to engage in the public policy arena and for your voices to be heard. Fourth, improve and strengthen the interface and processes between Montana nonprofits and state and federal government agencies and government more generally. We've got a lot of work to do on that front, and we look forward to working with you to understand all the facets behind that. Fifth, expand and strengthen resources, supports, and incentives for people to connect with and remain with the Montana nonprofit sector, either as professional staff, volunteers, or board members. This speaks to what we can do to help build and support and strengthen the nonprofit workforce here in Montana. Six, enhance the ability of Montana nonprofits to function at the highest levels of integrity, efficiency, and transparency, and to be accountable to the public that we serve. And finally, seven, preserve and enact policies that incentivize citizens to donate to and otherwise support Montana's charitable nonprofits sector. We've done quite a bit of work, of course, with the Montana Charitable Endowment Tax Credit. I see Lieutenant Governor Bollinger is here in the room, who's been a champion for that initiative in the past. We look forward to moving that initiative forward in the future, but we really think there's a lot more work we can do to look at some creative solutions about how to expand resources for the charitable sector. We know, in fact, that this is an ambitious agenda. Over the last several months, it became a little less ambitious with the addition of some staff at the association, full-time staff, in fact, to work on it. We also know that a great deal more analysis is needed to determine what the best course of action might be. There are some areas where we are quite active as we speak, particularly at the federal level, including nonprofit capacity building, volunteerism, and charitable giving, to name a few. We look forward to working with our state and federal legislators, as well as our statewide elected officials, as we look to advance our policy agenda in the coming years. Of course, we welcome the participation from our membership in that endeavor, so please let us know if there's an area of policy work that I mentioned today that is of particular interest to you. We'll look for ways to get you involved. Many thanks to all of you, the nonprofit professionals, board members, donors, volunteers that are here in the room today. You, in every sense of the word, are the lifeblood of the charitable sector in Montana. And I bet you if we did a poll here, there's not a single person that would not raise their hand if I asked those of you to identify yourself as someone who's volunteered for, donated to, worked for, or otherwise been touched by charitable nonprofits here in the state of Montana. Truly touches all facets of our life. So the last thanks goes to all of you and the work that you do each and every day making Montana a better place. This is your organization, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished. Thank you, and safe travels back home.